Hasan and Destiny, just wrong, just flat wrong again. And this example comes from a debate that Carl had with them a long time ago. And I thought we'd go into it because it's all about Disney. And Disney's back in the news. You know why?
Because they have a gay agenda.
Literally, according to their own people. So we'll load this up because also there is the funniness of all that taking place in the United States, them trying to virtue signal about the anti-groomer bill. And Fox running this story here, which did make me laugh. Disney expanding operations to 10 anti-gay countries as they go woke in the United States. As part of its expansion, Disney Plus will be making its way to Algeria, Egypt, Libya, Morocco, Oman, Palestine, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Tunisia, and Yemen.
Christ, what is this colonialism part 2?
No, it's the anti-homosexual expansion. I don't know if they're including, I don't know, Kazakhstan next year or something. But just right, you went with all of the Arab countries which are very firm.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. How well this goes down in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, as you can see, I mean, much of those is I think all of them officially are the death penalty because, well, that's what it says in the Hadith, which is kill the one who is doing it and kill the one that is being done too.
I look forward to seeing Mickey Mouse's head on a stick.
That'll be happening in Iran. But anyway, as you can see, Disney Plus are at least going out there and just making money. Meanwhile, at home, different people run Disney America, it seems, because of course they have their own thoughts and feelings about what they should be up to. Although maybe they're trying to then change the Islamic world in a different way. But if we move forward, we can see the fact that apparently Disney employees, or at least according to this chap who used to work for Disney, also think that the guys in charge are just mad. So this is a guy saying that most of the Disney employees support the anti-groomer bill. Disney standing up for groomers is not the most popular opinion at Disney, apparently. Castillo claimed that Disney and similar corporations listen to the loudest voices in the crowd, even though the silent majority of employees disagree. So this is his perspective on what's going on there. But this brings us to why Destiny and Hasan were just wrong. Because if we go to the next link, we can see this is the clip I took out of a big, long debate that we organized ages ago. As you can see, there's Nick Fuentes, Carl, Destiny, and Hasan, who were having a debate, being moderated by Trainwreck TV and Azamagol. And the debate point at this particular point in the debate was, why do companies do woke things, essentially? So they were arguing about woke movies, but then the argument was, well, why do they do woke things? And Hasan and Destiny's position, well, I don't think... Destiny is a liberal, and Hasan is a socialist. So they both ended up agreeing with this and their perspective. Well, I should say Destiny's a left liberal. And they had the same perspective at the time, which is that they only do these things for money. It's only for money. They just think that now it's profitable, so we'll go out and do the woke things because we just love cash, and that's it.
Well, that is considerably true, isn't it? Not entirely.
It's really not, though. It's the understanding everyone has of a company when they first think about these things, but then you have to remember that companies are not monoliths, and they're run by individual people you can name.
But consumers don't tend to buy things because they actually believe in the agenda that's being presented to them. They buy it because they know other people are buying it, or at least because it has some social value arising from the fact that other people are buying it or taking it.
I don't know. I mean, my purchases are because the thing's good.
Yeah, because you kind of more, I suppose, self-aware and aware of a political agenda that's part of how a product is packaged. But most normies, for example, like, I don't know, most students or consumers who, for example, listen to the phrase "trans rights are human rights" will say, "Oh, that sounds fair enough," because they don't actually know how, for example, that very phrase plays into the hands of those who are trying to completely re-understand how sexuality is orientated.
I don't agree in the slightest, and we can give an example.
People don't know what they're buying, so I can see the value in that.
Well, no, because they do. And Nick Fuentes actually gives we don't have it in the clip, but he mentions Ghostbusters 2. It was just like, well, that was a complete failure. I mean, that was clearly a movie driven by agenda. Destiny brings up Ghostbusters 3 and was like, well, that wasn't driven by an agenda in the same way Ghostbusters 2 was, the all-female remake or whatever it was. And the argument being, well, no, average people of all stripes just look at that and go, oh, they've just added loads of women because whammon. Like, everyone can tell that's what it was about, and therefore it flopped. But this is the argument they had, and I guess we should watch the clip. It's quite long,
Go on.
but I think it's probably worthwhile, so we can hear the different sides that were presented. But let's play.
you think there isn't a political and moral goal in what they're doing, it's just wrong.
There is a political goal. The political goal is to show society whatever it is they want to see so they can make the most fucking money off of it. That's absolutely true. Why didn't we get if that was true, then why didn't we get a Black Panther movie like this like 20 years ago, or more women in media 20 years ago?
Because this is a new, this particular variant of politics is a relatively recent phenomenon, and it's taken the media establishment, the Hollywood establishment by storm. Like, these things are agenda driven, and this is something that's driving Disney into the ground, man.
Is your argument actually that Disney is like that Disney has a moral objective to like make the world more progressive, and because of that they're just like burning cash right now and they're failing?
I didn't say Disney, no. People in Disney. I mean, I don't know about like the high ups. I'm sure they're fucking hating it. But
are you familiar? Do you not think that the board of directors has a vested interest, a fiduciary responsibility in ensuring shareholder maximizing profit and ensuring that
Hasan,
shareholder value is
right? I think the problem that you have is that you view these things as
yes.
You don't realize that these
from a materialist perspective. Yes, thank you.
I know. But then they're not monolithic. There are people operating.
No, not monolithic. Materialistic.
Yeah. Okay.
A materialist.
What I'm saying is the thing is more than the sum of its components, but the components within it are individual actors with their own agendas, and they come to these things with a particular perspective, and in many cases to push a specific agenda. And this agenda is costing them money. They have their hits, but they have many losses as well. And it's something that I don't think is sustainable.
So you think like 75-year-old executives at Disney are like thinking, we
want
really
gay rights.
We really need to make the world more SJW.
You guys can live in denial about this if you want, but the people who make these movies have morals of their own. And the people who fund these things have morals of their own. Of course, they obviously have physical, pragmatic, necessary requirements on them. And this is why I think that there's probably a lot going on behind the scenes about probably serious conversations about sort of like, the profitability of woke movies. And in many ways, they don't seem very profitable. But there's no doubt that there's a push towards this. The directors will tell you this. The actors will tell you this. I don't see why we would sit there and say that they don't have this agenda because we're Marxists, I guess, because we sit there and think, well, every capitalist is
evidence
evil.
is not on your side.
Well, they're not Marxists, are they?
Well, they are.
No, they're not. No,
Yeah.
they're intersect. I would agree with Cole insofar as there quite clearly is a political agenda that they're committed to, which is independent of market forces. I'll concede on that. But they're not Marxists. Let's just make that perfectly clear.
I know that's your contention with the intersectionalists,
It is.
that you don't think they're Marxists in the true sense.
No, I think that...
I should correct myself real quick, though. I said Ghostbusters 2 because I couldn't remember the damn name of the movie. The Ghostbusters remake, in which it was all female. I should correct myself on that first. But the argument there was essentially just like, they're all money-hungry capitalists who are just doing this to make money, and Cole's perspective being like, well, no. Like, they literally do it because you can name the individuals, you can listen to their interviews, and they say why they're doing it. I mean, they'll just argue, like, I want representation in the movie, so I've just inserted alphabets because representation, or the movie should represent something that we don't have in media,
it
which
is
is an all-black movie or something like that.
In those cases, I think, for example, what's her name? The producer of Star Wars, the feminist lady. I can't remember what she's called, but she made that argument basically, and I take her for her word. But there are other. It is quite easy to lay claim to doing something on moral reasons, but still to go where the money is.
Yeah,
it's still possible to do that.
So, I mean, this is the parts of it, though. So you have the argument about, is this profitable? And this does take place, obviously. Like, no one can deny that argument doesn't take place. But very often, it's also, I don't care. Like, if it's not profitable, like, I have more money than God.
Yeah.
What if I burn some money? Who cares? And you can see this in the examples within Disney. I mean, Disney being the big leak recently. We've shown these clips before, so I won't play them, so we'll just go over them to make this point, which is, well, now we actually have the interviews. I mean, Disney was one of the examples brought up in the debate, and, well, we can see it here. I mean, this is an individual who works at Disney and just openly says, yeah, I was able to put my not at all secret gay agenda into the movies and adding queerness to children's programming wherever she could. That was her word. She would just add it for no reason, just to have characters kiss who were gay because... queerness. We're like, right. Is that a discussion of, well, it'd be profitable if we had these characters kiss?
No, it's definitely not.
Is her adding it in because she can and no one's going to stop her?
Yeah.
Because to stop her would be politically incorrect.
Let's give kids a healthy dose of queerism is what she wants to do.
Yeah, but she also did it,
message.
obviously, for intersectional reasoning.
Yes.
She was just like, well, there needs to be more gay representation in media, otherwise this country's homophobic, transphobic, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Patriarchy, and therefore she added all this crap, And no one stopped her because everyone was too afraid, by the sounds of it. Because she also gives the example that she was told before she was there, people would stop them from doing such things.
There was definitely the presence of repressive tolerance in this meeting.
If we go to the next one, we can also see the fact that apparently there was a lady demanding that 50% of all characters become alphabets, including racial minorities as alphabets. Because remember, yukmagamers, folks, very human. All those people with non-white skin are apparently yukmagamers, according to the newest guidance. No longer BAME or POC or BIPOC or whatever the hell else
This
other alphabet
woman
going on
makes
with.
me sick.
Yeah, so that's the demand. Of course, this doesn't even make any kind of sense. Like, it's just make 50% of all characters need to be gay or brown-skinned. What? Like, that doesn't even make sense according to representation.
Yeah.
Like, if we go to the next image, I mean, this is, so if you click on the second one there, this is the YouGov poll we've shown before, in which you just have the numbers of Americans who are Jewish, Native American, transgender, blah, 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 and then compare that to what most Americans think the percentage is. And it's just wildly wrong.
I know.
And as you can see there, like, if you just add up the percentage, it's not going to equal 50%. Like, you add up all the alphabets, it's not going to do it. And yet, when you look at the proportions estimated by the Americans asked in this poll, oh God, is it off? I mean, like, what was the funniest one there? Like, I think half of the country is black. It's just like, how could you think that? Like, how out of touch do you have to be to think that? Oh wait, no, it's no one's fault, is it? Because where do people get a lot of their information? Media, who is literally perverting the media to show such things as 50% alphabets.
Yeah.
The lady we just showed before, who works for Disney.
I'm just amazed that people by this point don't just believe the opposite of what the media tells them, to be honest.
But this obviously goes back to the argument. It's like, oh, they're just doing it for money, bro. They're just trying to make money off this new woke fad. No.
There is more to it than that.
We can literally point to the individuals. I mean, we used to just have names or an occasional interview. I mean, now we have the leaked Zoom calls we can point to in which the individual literally says, I'm going to add 50% all characters being alphabet. Why? Because ideology. She's not arguing because profit. This is not even a factor in the discussion. So there you have it. I mean, just wrong. Just flat wrong, and we have the video evidence to prove it on that. But if we move forward, we can also see more of this. There is a guy who's apparently his entire job, or at least part of his job, is being an alphabet tracker as well. So
What?
literally all he does, just tracker, as you see. He says
okay.
he made a tracker so they could track how many queer stories are going on, gender non-conforming characters, canonical trans characters, and canonical bisexual characters. That's his job. That's all he does. If it's just part of his job, he's wasting that amount of his job. Literally just tracking queerness within Disney movies.
That's got to be one of the most useless jobs I've ever heard of.
Again, for money? You think that's worth money?
No, that's a waste of money if there ever is one.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
No,
because
clearly.
again, the whole system is not monolithic. You have these individual actors, and, well, they're not concerned with just, I'm a greedy capitalist caricature that, like, the Soviet Union would draw, you know, the pig man just shoveling money into his mouth. No, they're human beings. And human beings have their own ideological will and ability to carry it out, in this example. If we move forward, we can also see another individual at Disney who said that, well, they had instituted censorship upon the staff at Disney to use any kind of gendered language because she just declared this haram. And I was like,
Bloody hell.
right, again? Yeah? This is for money, is it? This is about money.
No, there's no way you can.
This is Mr. Krabs.
Not unless they have a penny jar for every time you break the rule. Then it's about money.
It's about, I don't know, fixing the church roof or something with the penny jar.
Oh yeah, it would definitely go towards that.
Yeah, but no, this is clearly not Mr. Krabs thinking money. Like this is someone with ideological will who doesn't want gendered language because it might make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
it's not inclusive.
they're not adhering to market forces. They're trying to change the way market forces operate.
Yeah.
It's
And that's
gaslighting.
like we have the individuals, okay? We have the individuals at the company level discussing what they're doing with their ideological will. And, well, there you have it. I mean, this is how companies really work, which is sometimes you might get the perfect capitalists who run such companies who are literally just interested in shoveling money in their mouth.
Yeah, it's
and
amoralists.
Yeah, and quite often in a system like the United States, where you don't have widespread corruption and aren't able to get away with it in that way, in the same way that you could in, say, Saudi Arabia or Morocco, again, these things are obviously relative, it's not to say there's no corruption in the United States, then, well, actually, these things turn out to be a moral good, because they can just produce lots of stuff for the public, and cheaply, and it's good, and no one's really harmed. Like, everything is good for everyone in that situation, so everyone wins. Whereas when you have ideological actors who want to insert their politics, well, then everyone who doesn't agree with that politics is screwed in this regard. So we'll move forward because they have it just wrong. But also we can see some more developments on this. So in response to that footage all getting released by Mark Ruffo there. Sorry, was it Mark Ruffo? Chris Ruffo. Sorry, getting his name wrong. But this is apparently that Ron DeSantis and the GOP are also looking at getting rid of Disneyland's autonomy. So, they have their own little special area.
Do they?
Park. Yeah, well, they've got their own special rules.
I don't like the sound of this.
It's actually, it's like ANCAP Dream, frankly. Which there's just like a bunch of regulations just taken back. Disney's in charge of them. Security stuff, they just have their own fleet of security.
So this is the Epstein dimension of Disneyland, is it?
No, it doesn't seem to be Epstein-y in a way, because it's the security guards, for example, they're all there and they're able to boss you around, but it's the Florida highway police officers who actually do any of the legal stuff.
Right.
So it's just the fact they have a bunch of autonomy in this regard to build their own things and whatnot. But if they're just going to be weird ideological leftists, then, well, the GOP who run Florida are just going to be like, yeah, better put my thumb on that. Just put that down. Which
Close it.
Is what you would expect.
Yes.
If we move forward again, we can see that also the White House is still trying to counter this horrible, horrible anti-groomer bill, this time by bringing in
It doesn't
a
even
wonderful
get the word gay in it, it must be stated.
Nope. But they're going to bring in a wonderful woman. The best woman at Jeopardy. That's for sure. White House deploys transgender Jeopardy champion Amy Scheider to condemn scary parental rights and education laws. Scheider, a man who is living as a woman, took the crown for the highest earning female Jeopardy contestant in December. I love that. The highest earning female contestant of Jeopardy is Amy.
Right.
Female contestant. Highest earning. The male contestant presumably busy training.
Yeah.
At least the highest one. And she also says these bills will cause the deaths of children, and that's really sad to me
God.
and frightening. It's just like, name how. How exactly? Like, the bill is that you can't groom kids. Like, if you're a teacher, you can't be bringing up all this stuff, sexual orientation stuff, gender identity stuff to kindergartners, and then keeping it from the parents as you groom the child into being transgender. You're not allowed to do that anymore.
Serious question. What's more likely to kill children, do you think? Actually allowing them legally to be groomed, or denying them from doing something that could actually come to their detriment in adult life?
And again, if the family wants to have this discussion, or in society, that's fine. Just not at the state-funded school. You freaks.
Yeah.
It's simple. We move forward. There's also just the obvious point there about passing, which I just want to throw in this article for no reason. No reason. It has no relevance to the previous contestant. Not all trans people want to pass. This made me laugh. Passing has long been a standard and for some, even a goal in the trans community. You would have thought the goal for everyone. Surely.
Yes. I was into...
Do you remember Willis earlier, who's not changing his pronouns? He's going to look like a man. He's not going to make any effort. No, apparently that's the true transgenderism.
Right.
Whereas transgender people who don't want to do, well, actually do try and make an effort to look like a woman, wear a dress or even anything, apparently. They're not real transgenders. They're not authentic transgenders. So passing, when used to describe trans people, to pass means to be perceived by others as one's gender, not one's sex at birth. Which is the whole point of being transgender, you would have thought.
Yes.
Quote, I worry sometimes about even passing as cis because I do want people who are in the community to know that I'm there, that there's people like you out there. We're all together. If anything happens to you, I'm here, said Richie in response to this article about her arguing why she shouldn't have to pass and shouldn't bother trying because, in her words, she wants to show off that there are trans people in the community.
Yeah.
That's a good excuse, isn't it? The Jeopardy players certainly representing the trans community. But anyway, there's also no shortage of reasons why this bill had to pass, and we can just demonstrate them because they keep popping back up every day because the United States is infested with this stuff in every state. If we go to the next one, we can see Nickelodeon. So it's not just Disney, of course. Nickelodeon as well decided to make this advert in which they're telling your 12-year-olds that they can be trans too, just like us. Come and be cool. And this is part of their Trans Awareness Day. So there's a big old advert there for your kids. Why are they obsessed with the kids?
Sick
what is it with the kiddos?
Cretins.
Well,
Clear them out.
What do they want to do? Why are they always obsessed with the kiddos? I mean, there's the argument that they're groomers, but groomers for many things takes place. I mean, you have groomers for... Yeah. But you also have groomers for ideology. And this is what a lot of this, frankly, is. And we can see it going forward as well.
Yeah. I really don't think there is much of a strong distinction as what one could claim. They're quite literally committed to collapsing everything we understand as sex into gender, which would actually negate the material dimension of sexual attraction, which would make age a non-factor. So they are committed to normalising paedophilia, whichever way you look at it.
Queer theory is based in being a nonce.
Yes.
Like, that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what's happened to our TV, so I can't see the screen anymore. But if we go to the next one, we should be able to see that I also just love the fact that whenever people look at this, and they were like, that's stunning and brave, you know, the trans 12-year-old there. But the Soph character, for example, Soph, you may know, do you not know?
No.
So Soph's a YouTuber who, was a YouTuber until, you know, she got scrubbed for doing memes, very funny memes.
Right.
She's a victim of a horrible right-wing movement that's trying to coerce her into being horrible and right-wing.
Right.
But the trans 12-year-old, stunning and brave, bro.
Of course.
Okay, yeah, I completely
Makes
believe.
sense.
All right, sure. If we move forward, we also have the fact that there's no shortage of means for this bill to exist. This is a story here, Lauren Chen promoting it, saying exclusive, Connecticut school nurse is suspended. What was she suspended for? She was suspended over transphobic Facebook posts. Damn it, the TV keeps turning off and I can't read it there. Revealing students 11 were on puberty blockers, 12 others were non-binary, and that teachers were helping them keep it a secret. Why are you keeping it a secret? Why can't you just tell the
It's almost
parents?
if they don't want the parents to know.
What's with the deceit? Funny that.
Yeah.
Funny that. Strange. Also, just 12 kids all become non-binary in a classroom. That's a proportional amount.
What is happening?
So
Seriously.
what should happen? Again, I don't even believe non-binary is a thing, but okay, sure. If we accept
it's
that non-binary is a
not.
thing, what percentage of the population is that?
0.075.
Nah, it's apparently 12 out of a class of 30.
Oh, really? Oh, great. Yeah.
If we move forward, we can see more of this as well. Just more examples. This one, a teacher explains how she sneaks into her LGBTQ activism into her teaching whilst hiding it from the parents. And she just explains in here, she tries to argue. She has that pink triangle up there. You know what that's for?
What?
It's for the Holocaust. So you would put it on gay men. So you would single them out as gay men, and therefore they would be killed.
So why are they using this for?
So she puts it up as a symbol of solidarity with gay men? No,
What?
because she's an idiot. She doesn't know what it means. She
Oh,
says
clearly, like me. Yeah.
She says it was a symbol for gay women and asexuals during the Holocaust. It wasn't.
Is it really?
No, it was only for gay men. So I mean, just wrong on one count. I mean, already just on her teaching matter about the Holocaust, you're an idiot. So I mean, you should be struck off for that anyway. But also, she openly says that this is part of her trying to sneak in LGBTQ
Seriously,
activism.
how do they become teachers?
I don't know.
How?
It's always stupid. But also, it's not really the point about the triangle. It's the deceit. Why
Yeah.
are you engaging in deceit, lady? Your own words. You're keeping it a secret. Why is that? Funny. Let's move forward. Let's go to the next one. Of course, we can also see a Connecticut school here. A lady saying, I may be tired, but I'm out here doing my best on Trans Day of Visibility. So this was the fact that she was trying to promote her activism and sneaking it in, and also trying to hide it from parents who complain about the whole situation.
Unsurprisingly. Thank God.
Wants to sneak in her pronouns. Interesting. She deleted this post after it was made available to the parents. Funny that. Moving forward, we also go to the next one, in which we see Libs of TikTok also listing here that some schools are now giving you an unbelievable list of pronouns. I love the future. To go to the next image here, please, John, you can see the full list. Many of them made up. He, him, his, she, hers, hers, they, them, theirs. All right, those are English words.
Zeev, Zem, Ziz, Zers? What the hell is that?
How do you even say that?
This is for children of what age?
I mean, like, is it a Russian X? Is it a Chinese X? How do you transliterate this
Zeev,
into
Zem,
English?
Ziz. It kind of works.
Zubba.
Yes.
Right. That's that. You better respect my gibberish, though. And if you don't respect the gibberish, well, apparently the intersectionals don't like that very much. Because the next one, we can see a student nurse who didn't take very well. She didn't take kindly to someone not respecting her gibberish. So she decided to tell her patient that she must respect the pronouns, and the patient laughed because that was ridiculous. So apparently the nurse in this circumstance decided to mess up putting the needle in and did it again, just so she could inflict pain on the patient at this university.
Nice.
Wonderful people. So Tucker Carlson making a segment about that. And if we go to the next one, we can also see another teacher who's just this is the bit I can't get over. Like, they all film it, put it on the internet. So this is her saying, it makes me very angry when people don't want me to talk about gender and sexualities in the classroom. Yes, because as you can see, non-binary teacher is responsible for 2-year-olds at daycare. The hell are you doing?
Why would you want to teach those concepts to 2-year-olds when
Why-
they can hardly even hold a crayon at that age?
You wish to bring sexual concepts to 2-year-olds, even though 2-year-olds are not sexual creatures. Strange desire. But also just like, why do you keep filming your crimes and putting them on the internet? I'm glad you do, because we can all see them.
Yes.
I mean, there was a funny story from when I was a kid. There was some girls who decided to steal a bus from my local town, and then they filmed the whole thing, drove it into a wall, smashed up the bus, and uploaded it to YouTube.
And they said, "Oh, I hope no one catches us."
Yeah, they got caught.
Oh, yeah, nice work.
It's the same thing. Like, if you're going to keep uploading it, but there's also just the point, and was mentioned earlier, but I'll end on it, which is that there are groomers of many kinds. There are not just groomers for that. There is also groomers for revolutionaries, and that is why they go after the kiddos all the time. It is why revolutionary movements are obsessed with the kiddos and how they want them taught in their special way, well, indoctrinated into their special way.
Yeah.
And you can see it here, in which they're just trying to indoctrinate them into being intersectional revolutionaries. There is also the idiot teachers who just think that it's about being more accepting, bro.
Yeah,
Who also
the
fall into
useful
this.
idiots,
Yeah, but I really think they're outnumbered by the active
cynical.
freaks.
Yes, that's the nicest way you can possibly put it, really.
But there's that. And now we can see the evidence that Hasan and Destiny wrong on that topic. If you appreciated that segment from the podcast or the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as this video, How Does Russia Justify Its Aggression by John Wheatley and Thomas, looking at their side of the story and how they justify it from their perspective. But if you also want to follow John, you can also follow him on Getter at John Wheatley on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.